Cosmic shocking, baby.
To purchase t-shirts and merchandise with my art on it, just click on the eye on the top right hand side of the screen and it will take you right to my shop.
So this is not going to be a troll video or an insult video or anything like that. You know, basically what I want to say in this video is that there are reasons why you may squat at a shallower depth than, you know, other people. You know, powerlifters want to squat all the way down, you know, parallel to the floor, if not lower in some cases, you know, to ensure that they can meet the requirements based on their sport. Okay, so their sport requires them to squat down. So, you know, really what I want to do is draw attention to, you know, somebody that everybody knows in the field, the Cali muscle, you know, and I'm not going to talk about whether he's in natural bodybuilding or not or whatever. Like, let's just throw all that out the door here and just say, okay, he always gets trolled by always the powerlifters or bodybuilder wannabes. They're stuck in a way of thinking that you must squat a certain way in order to produce results. And I know also what you're thinking. You're saying, oh, Jason, you just don't squat deep. That's why you're making this video. Well, exactly, because I have squatted deep and I noticed that my results weren't any better from doing so, okay? So what I want to say is there are all these people on the internet slandering Cali Muscle because he only goes down to 90 degrees, if not, you know, maybe a little lower than that in his squat, okay? But the fact is that Cali Muscle does know something about growing muscle because he has proven that he's put muscle on his upper body. And he has also talked about he didn't have access to leg training type of equipment when he was in jail. And that's why his upper body has outgrown his lower body. That makes a lot of sense. It doesn't mean that it's the absolute only reason, but it definitely makes a lot of sense that if he didn't have access to a squat rack or, you know, even dumbbells, you know, it depends on, I don't know what kind of equipment he had in his you know, in prison or whatever, but it makes sense that that's why his legs would be smaller or out of proportion in, you know, comparison to his upper body. But the fact is that just because his legs are out of proportion with his upper body doesn't mean that he's training them wrong now. And a lot of people will look at his legs and say, oh, he must be training them wrong because his legs aren't as big as his upper body. Well, the truth is that, like I said, he didn't have access to equipment, so he was spending most of his time training upper body for several years. And now, you know, he's actually catching his legs up through squatting. And I agree with what he says about finding what is right for him to get the pump. And what is right for him to get a stretch for him, you know? And that's exactly what my channel is about. It's about you finding what is right for you. What is the right stretch for you? Not what does it look like according to somebody else and then ignore what you're feeling the whole time, you see? Because when you're actually paying attention to your body will tell you when you're tearing something or when you're actually lightly pulling on something or whether you're making muscle mass gains. But if your awareness is dead and you're numb from the neck down, okay, well maybe you need to follow a template. Maybe you need to follow what everybody else is just telling you. But if you're not numb from the neck down and you actually can feel what's going on in your muscles, at that point you can start making decisions for yourself, right? So would I say that Cali Muscle is squatting wrong? No. Cali Muscle is squatting fine for muscle growth and bodybuilding reasons. Because the primary reason for bodybuilding and lifting weights is that you want to stimulate the muscle, but not the joints. There's a point to where you go down and you stretch, and this will be different for each person, okay? Where the muscle stretches, and then from there, the muscle's at its absolute stretch, and then the muscle stretch transfers to a joint stretch. You know, the ligaments and tendons in the joint start to stretch. You want to not train through that. You know, there are other YouTubers I've watched and doing powerlifting programs and, you know, guys that are pretty popular actually, and they're starting to get injuries and starting to get tweaks and all this kind of stuff because they're trying to maintain this perfect form according to the internet, and stuff is starting to snap. Once you push that stretch always to the nth degree, something will snap, right? And it's, you know, kind of the risk of sports, but at the same time, is there a way of finding an ideal torque curve and an ideal range of motion? You know, and I'm challenging you on this and saying, you know, there is a right range of motion for you. So at least think for yourself and try to find out what that is. So thanks for watching.
Now that I've spoken,
talk to you soon.
let me introduce Do it your way. My name's Thunderdog. D-A-W-G is how it's spelled. Now you know my name. Calling me in a drought. I came to Ridge in 215 and sorted it all out.